Hey everyone, you are on the Proxy-Seller channel. My name is Max. Today we'll talk about shared proxies, what they are, why they're so popular, and how they differ from other private solutions. Shared proxies are often chosen by those looking for the best balance between price and functionality. They work well for tasks where scale and cost efficiency are important: mass scraping, tool testing, automation, or high-volume requests. Shared proxies help significantly reduce expenses and quickly scale operations. But they are not universal. For tasks that require session stability, individual IP reputation, or working with sensitive data, it's better to use other types of proxies. So, how do shared proxies work? The principle is simple. Several users simultaneously share one IP address or a pool of addresses. The provider distributes traffic among them, sets limits on speed, number of sessions, or data volume. This makes shared proxies affordable and convenient in scenarios where scale and cost savings matter most. For example, mass data collection, automation, or system testing. However, it's important to remember that from the perspective of stability and IP cleanliness, private proxies will always be more reliable. Shared ones are primarily an economical choice for less critical tasks. An important nuance to note: shared proxies are not designed for tasks where absolute stability and clean reputation are required. That's why when working with financial accounts, confidential information, or long-term sessions, it's better to choose private proxies, even if they cost more. So, shared proxies are not about better or worse, but about the right use case. For automation, marketing tasks, and large-scale scraping, they're perfect. But for financial security and corporate accounts, another solution should be considered. Up to this point, we've figured out what shared proxies are and when they can be useful. But not all shared proxies are the same. So now, let's take a closer look at the main types and see how they differ. IPv4 shared proxies are the classic data center addresses. They're the most affordable option and work well for tasks where high trust from websites isn't required. Basic scraping, system testing, or working with platforms without strict anti-fraud. The downside is limited IP cleanliness and a higher chance of being blocked. Mobile shared proxies. Here we're talking about IPs that come from real mobile networks, 3G, 4G, or 5G. Websites and platforms trust them the most, since they look exactly like regular user traffic. That makes them a strong choice for e-commerce, advertising campaigns, traffic arbitrage, social media, and large-scale data collection. The cost is higher, but so is the stability, by a wide margin. Semi-dedicated proxies are a middle ground. One IP is shared by only 2 or 3 clients. That reduces the risks that come with having too many neighbors, while keeping the price lower compared to private proxies. It's a great solution for those who want better stability than shared proxies, but aren't yet ready to invest in fully dedicated ones. So, where are shared proxies actually useful? They're great for data scraping and market analysis. Shared proxies allow scaling requests and bypassing basic anti-bot systems. They're used for price scraping, competitor analysis, and collecting large amounts of data. They also work well for marketing automation, mass logins, managing multiple accounts, testing ad tools or services. Here, shared proxies make it possible to save money when you need a large IP pool. Another area is geo-targeting and bypassing regional restrictions. Shared proxies let you test ads, content, or services from different countries without buying expensive IPs. That's especially handy for testing and basic marketing tasks. But it's worth noting that some platforms have strong anti-fraud systems, and shared IPs can get banned quickly. In such cases, private or mobile proxies would be a better choice. Finally, they're often used in startup projects, for beginners or companies just testing ideas and not yet ready to invest in private solutions. Shared proxies are the optimal choice. Now, when should they not be used? In the financial sector and with sensitive data. Any operation with client information requires stable connections and a spotless IP reputation. Shared proxies can't guarantee that. When managing corporate accounts, for stable work with CRM, payment systems, or other critical business resources, it's better to use a private or at least semi-dedicated proxies. And for tasks with high IP reputation requirements, if a platform demands clean and unique IPs, Shared proxies can actually add risks instead of reducing them. Of course, along with the benefits, shared proxies also come with certain risks. Let's go over the main ones. The first is IP blocking. A single irresponsible user can burn the shared address, and that affects everyone in the pool. Next is unstable speed. During peak hours, performance drops, which makes it harder to handle large-scale tasks. There are also session drops and disconnects. This is a common issue when there's too much activity from the same IP. Another important point is provider logging. The risk depends on the service policy. Reliable providers follow a no-logs principle, but not all of them stick to it. And finally, there are reputation and legal risks. The actions of neighbors on a proxy can impact your business, from account bans to reputational damage in partner systems. The economics of shared proxies is also an important case we need to discuss. Shared proxies are attractive mainly because of their price. They are much cheaper than private ones. This makes them a great solution when you need to quickly launch a project, test tools, or scale basic tasks without large investments. At the same time, it's important to remember that the low price comes with certain specifics. In a shared pool, you may face blocks or connection drops. Speed can decrease during peak hours, and technical support is usually limited. For most basic scenarios, this isn't critical, but in projects where stability and unique IPs are required, it's better to look toward private or semi-dedicated solutions. So, shared proxies are a cost-effective choice for short-term and test tasks, as well as for those who are taking their first steps and scaling up. But if the focus is on long-term and business-critical processes, it makes sense to invest in more stable solutions. And lastly, how to use shared proxies correctly. Use them only for basic tasks, scraping, testing, and automation. If the project is critical, choose at least private or semi-dedicated proxies. Buy only from trusted providers who regularly update their IP pools and have transparent policies. And most importantly, use shared proxies as intended. They are great for scraping, automation, and testing, but not for corporate security. For that, private solutions are needed. Shared proxies are the perfect choice for scraping, automation, and test projects, where speed of launch and cost efficiency matter most. At the same time, for finance, corporate accounts, and other critical data, it's always better to use private or semi-dedicated proxies. The main rule is simple. Always choose the right type of proxy for the task at hand. At Proxy-Seller, you can find all options, from shared to private, so you can strike the right balance between price, stability, and security. Remember, free proxies pose security risks and lack reliable anonymity, often leading to blocks. For secure and private online experiences, turn to our company, Proxy-Seller. We offer 100% anonymity and top-notch security. Our selection caters to various needs, supported by 24/7 assistance. Check the description for a 10% discount code and a link to our site. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications by clicking on the bell, and hit the like button. That's all for now. See you guys in the next video.